driving up in and check stuff out. Eventually, Three Brook HQ is going to go right back in there. We've already started cutting the trees down and hauling them out. And then we got the pond over there, so the camp will look out. It'll be up in there and look down toward this pond right here. It'll be nice and all cleared out. Walk down my driveway a little bit here. There's a driveway, comes up. Of course, it's a little muddy. Water runs off right there. There's gonna be a trout pond. Well, hopefully I'm gonna put a little trout pond in down here. Got this main creek that flows off this hill with a heavy flow rate of water. But in the summertime, it dries up a little bit. I'm hoping that maybe we can get in, build a pond right around in here. We've taken some of these trees out already. But yeah, that's something I want to do. I know trout will hold really well in this sort of, the water's cold all year round, so it's another future project. I talked about it in one of my earlier videos. This is probably going to be the main spot of modifying this little creek that runs down, turning into a trout hole. Well, the pond certainly has a lot of water flow going to it. Still got a layer of ice on the top. It was super cold like a week ago. And then it warmed up into the 50s. And it started to cool back down again. So, as you can see, it's snowing. Yeah, I gotta run another pipe from like right where I'm standing back down to the pond and then bury it. That's what that clump of mound dirt was supposed to be for. Just haven't got to it. These things are expensive, man. And there's actually like 20, 40, 60 foot of pipe already just to this point. And then I gotta go probably another 20 down to there and then bury it. That way I can drive over this little section right here. Pond's doing good though. It's been in since 2019 and the bass are pretty good size. I'll get some video of them. There's crappie, bluegill, sunfish, perch, bullhead. So there's a good variety in this little pond. This pond's actually, it doesn't look it here, but it's actually about a half an acre. And it slopes. It's got a lot of topography in it. It slopes down from, it's pretty shallow right up here at the start. And then it gets to be about 22 feet on the backside over there. Inlets here, comes around, has good flow circulation around the pond. And outlets right here. See where it's a little lower. It's actually got good flow so you can see it come down. And actually, I know it's not ideal, but it flows straight down the ditch where the driveway is. And then goes down into the beaver dam, into the creek down below. Check on the windmill, make sure it's still anchored down. And it's actually spinning and everything. It seems to be doing all right. Put it here so I can mow around it still. I still fit the mower right around this side. How cool. See how strong this layer of ice is. Wow, didn't break. Well, we'll take a walk around and see what we see. It's pretty windy and snowy right now, but I don't care. January 1st, we'll do a little walk around, see what we see. Surprised it doesn't look like there's too many trees like over my logging roads. I figured with this wind and stuff they'd be everywhere, but I don't have the chainsaw with me today. We'll have to come back up another day and do that. Hard to tell, but 2 years ago there was a major oil spill up in the valley a little bit further. It flowed all the way down this creek and wiped these beavers completely out. But they've made a good comeback over the last couple of years. Water looks cleaned up now, so yeah, it's good to see them back making up the dams. They're pretty fun to watch. See where they've been coming down up through here, chopping down these little branches to build up their dams. I got one down there, and then one right down in through here. Terrible. Not sure what this guy is. Baby beaver. These old oil drums, super thick in through here. Look at these buck rubs right by them. And you can see where the beavers have been really chopping these little branches down to build their dams down below. Super thick down through here. The deer love bedding down in this stuff. See them coming up out of here all the time. And it comes up into this edgy goldenrod mixed with a bunch of pines. There's a huge rub right over there. I don't know if you can see it. We'll walk up to it. Yeah. Next year I'm going to turn this whole section into a giant ass food plot. Well, giant. It's probably like, I don't know, a 3-acre section, but I figure those deer come up out of this bedding and make this into a food plot. A really nice one. I'm actually going to put the time and the money into doing it right. Another oil drum over there. I've sat in them before and deer don't even see you in there. They don't even recognize you. They work good for sure. Yeah, one of my posted signs. You know, these lasted 5 years up, but I'm gonna have to get some more ordered and put back up. I mean, I usually get these plastic ones because they last a heck of a lot longer than the paper do. But on this property line, get some crazy wind, so they blew off. So we're gonna have to get some more ordered. We'll put some more up. See how the deer kind of work the edge of this field. See this deer trail right through the thick stuff. That's why I like walking around after the season's over. It's actually technically still late muzzleloader season here in New York, but I'm not going to kill anything this late in the year, so just let them all go. But it's fun to get out and walk around and look for sheds, scope out your property. The sign, you can still see the sign is visible, so it's pretty cool to do. Just getting ready to hike up this steep hillside now. Another deer highway. Got a red oak here, tall and straight, and then you got a shagbark hickory right here. I got a bunch of these on the property. These things drop a ton of nuts. I mean, people argue and say, oh, deer don't like the nuts from the shagbark hickory. Well, I've literally watched them crunch on them while I was just sitting here observing. I mean, I've got a ton of these on the property all over the place down here on the lower end. Yeah, they're a pretty cool tree. They look cool too. Coming to a big Y. It's an old logging road that goes out toward the property line that way. Got a whiteout up here. Started snowing this morning. Sticking to all the branches and everything. Kind of pretty. We got the road that goes up the ridge here and another road that goes out the middle over here. And we'll go up the ridge. Winter Wonderland up here. There's one. Here's something interesting. These hollowed out trees. This is a big maple. And it's hollowed right out. Just want to leave these. Don't try cutting these down. They'll explode on you. And number two, it keeps the critters segregated to these trees. And they'll keep using these for years and years and years. So Yeah, it's pretty neat that how they get hollowed right out and your critters will live right up in there. Porcupines, man. Look at this hollowed out tree right on the property line. Giant maple. Got a heavy lean down the line there. Kind of see how thick it is up through here. I like this on this hillside just because these deer will come up here and bed. I mean, it's pretty thick. This old logging road is one of my favorite. At the end of this logging road where it peaks out, it kind of opens up. And it's kind of like an edge and habitat where it's real thick over here, and then it kind of opens up a little bit on the other side of this. And then right down below we have a steep drop off. And when the wind's coming out of the west, southwest like that, like it is right now, it's actually blowing right in my face. In the morning time, these bucks will get up on this flat during the rut, and they'll cruise this, scent check and everything down below. And in 2022, I was in my stand, and same scenario, the buck was cruising this trail, several different bucks were cruising this trail, and it come out actually at the bleak can, and he turned around and darted right back out to me at the end of this trail. And I was so excited, I got up, I drew back, it was like a 10-yard shot. He had 2 yards, maybe 2 or 3 steps until he was out in the wide open, and I stopped him, and he stopped right behind a tiny tree like this. Didn't even see it in my peep, and I shot, and it sounded like I smoked him. He runs out about 50 yards, stops and looks at me, and trots down over the bank. Well, I get down, kind of confused, looking around, and there my arrow was, snapped in half, broadhead embedded right into the tree. So, needless to say, I chopped that thing right down. Cut it out for a souvenir because it cost me a really big buck. Just a funny story. But yeah, you come out through the edge of this thick stuff. I'll actually show you what he did. There's a stand right here. So it kind of starts to open up. Here's the stand. And it opens up right out here. So you cruise that trail I just walked down. And you got behind a little cluster like this. This is what it was. And you can see where I chopped it all down. Yeah, I smoked one of these trees. And there's the stand. Oh, I couldn't believe it. And he trotted off down over the bank over that way. Well, we're just about back to the truck. We didn't find any antler sheds. Walked around about 3/4 of the way to the property, but I was just messing around, walking around, checking on everything. It was fun. Nice January 1st, New Year's Day walk. And got a lot to do up here. Got big dreams up here, but little by little we'll make it happen. Stay tuned, I'll try to make some videos of everything.